10-8. How's everybody doing tonight? This is my second live. First one I tried on OBS. I don't quite have that yet. This is back on StreamYard. I'm a little bit more comfortable here, so I think I'll just continue to use this one. I just wanted to elaborate a little bit over what I said last night on my podcast last night. Kegan Kline is cooperating. There's no doubt in my mind, none whatsoever. He's cooperating. Now, is he connected to the Delphi case? Yes. Yes, he is. As a collaborating witness, not as a direct witness. There's no, he can't provide any direct evidence or anything like that. But let me give it to you in a scenario that I think people will understand a little better, because we've all seen it on TV and stuff like that. If somebody gets caught with crack cocaine in their car, and they get arrested, the arresting deputy is going to notify one of the detectives, okay? And they're going to try and flip this person. They're going to say, hey, listen, excuse me, you give us your dealer, and we'll work a deal with you with your case. And they usually agree, and they get immediately released. They can't keep them off the street too long because that's suspicious. So they get released. Well, then they give them the dealer, and law enforcement, vice and narcotics, they'll make some undercover buys and stuff like that to get enough evidence on the dealer to where they can arrest him. So then they're done with that CI, but they're not done with him. They'll put him in the Rolodex, so to speak. They may use him again at some point. But now they're using the dealer. Now, through this first CI, they probably met other people that purchased from this dealer, because the undercover detective will be buying and maybe even selling, but he's going to be hanging around that environment, that culture. So he's going to get to meet people. So it's not just one or two people. There's a whole group of people. And he may be involved, this one undercover agent, detective, could be involved with several dealers. And so you arrest a dealer and you flip them, okay? Not all of them flip. Some of them go to jail. They're pretty loyal, some of them. But you flip them. And then you want the distributor. At that point, you're working on getting the distributor. So you've accumulated, probably just from this one arrest, you've accumulated probably 10, maybe 15 CIs, confidential informants. Now, only 3, maybe 4 of them are going to be, worth anything, but and provide you with good information. The other ones will bullshit you and stuff like that. Well, then you just arrest them and press their regular charges on them. But eventually you want to get to the distributor. So I told you this story just so you understand the process of what's going on with this case. So Kegan created this Anthony Shots account, okay? So he got busted, and they started pressuring him because law enforcement already knew that the Anthony Shots account had communicated with Libby the day of the murders. So they already know that's established. They already know that happened. Now, Kegan created this account. So But he created this account for one reason only, for his self-sexual gratification. Um, he, he, he didn't create this account um, to catfish girls and murder them. You know, he created this account to elicit photographs and videos and Skype chats and regular chats and voice chats and all that with these underage girls, and just to get illicit pictures and comments and stuff like that. And I don't say just to get. I don't take it lightly. It's disgusting what he was doing. It's absolutely disgusting. But so when they arrested him, they have a goal. You know, they have something they want to get to. They want to get to who was using that account on the 13th of February in 2017. So they got to start somewhere. So just like the arrest made for the drug dealer, it's the same thing. You can't just get to the dealer. You have to start at the beginning and you work your way up, like I just explained. So they got Keegan to at least cooperate to the point where he told them that, yes, I have this Dropbox. And the other people do have access to it. He was pretty vague. And I'm here to tell you, his memory's going to get real sharp real quick here pretty soon. He's going to start remembering shit all of a sudden, you know, you watch. But when they searched his house, they missed one phone. He allegedly hid it in the microwave. They missed one phone. So with that phone, he tried to delete apps, add them back on, scrub that app clean, delete all the information on that app, delete the app again, reinstall it, delete it again. It obviously it didn't work. So they were able to get enough information to get rolling. Now, for those of you who don't understand how it works, they got Android phones, iPhones, iPads, iPods. I think they got a laptop. Every single one of those devices, they have to send subpoenas out to every single one of those social media accounts. And the cell phone provider and the ISP and all of that, they have to send all those subpoenas out, and it takes time. And the reason I'm pointing that out is because now they've got other people involved. So if Keegan had 4 or 5, I think he had 5 total devices, they probably got 3 or 4 other people they were able to identify. Well, then they have to do the same thing with those people. They have to approach them. They have to interrogate them. They have to get their devices and get subpoenas for their information for each single one. And and that takes time. But eventually they're building a bridge, so to speak. And that's why it turned into this big pedophile ring that they discovered, because they're trying to build a bridge to who was using the account on February 13th. Now, it's my belief that Kegan Kline, he's a liar. We know he's a liar. But he was trying to express to them that he's telling the truth about something. And they didn't want to believe him. There was no way to prove it. He couldn't collaborate his story. So if they missed a whole cell phone, how hard would it be for them to miss a thumb drive or an SD card? If you didn't want somebody to find that stuff, it's easy to hide. So maybe that's what he threw in the river. And when they found it, they're able to get the data off of it and showed the information from his Dropbox and from his accounts that are connected to his laptop, where he could use that thumb drive. And that collaborated his story about some of the individuals that he was giving up. Because, of course, when they go to talk to these people, they'll be like, no, he's a liar. I don't even know him, and da 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 da. Well, that collaborated, so they were able to skip a bunch of people and get to the heavier hitters, the people who were spreading more of this around. So is Keegan Klein, and eventually they got to Rick Allen. They got to him eventually. So was Keegan Klein involved with the case? No, he didn't facilitate anything. He didn't. He didn't help facilitate getting the girls to the bridge or anything. Richard Allen did that himself. Keegan's involved because he was the first guy in line. He's the one that created that account. They had to start with him. But he's a very important witness because he's the beginning of that chain. Now, there's going to be other people. They've flipped other people. Some of these guys are married men, grandfathers, high esteemed people. These people look up to them, and they don't want this out. They're embarrassed about it, so they cooperate. And that's how they got to Richard Allen. So there's probably, when they release this PCA on Tuesday, which I think Judge Gill is definitely going to release it, it's going to be redacted because there's going to be CI's information on there. Now, this is still an open, active case. So that tells me that these CIs are still providing information about other people that are potentially involved, maybe in facilitating the girls, helping out with grooming them, or other girls that they tried this with. So just the nature of the charges on Richard Allen tells me that there's other people involved. He's trying to throw this mitigating factor with the insanity plea, but it's not going to work because they have the aggravating factor on him. So that's, I was thinking about that today. I was talking about it last night, and that's not going to work. It's not going to work for him. He's he's not in good shape. He's in trouble. Now, I just know that the YouTube community, the true crime community, they've worked themselves up into a lather right now over this hearing. They did the same thing with the Halloween presser about what he was going to release, what information they were going to release, when it was basically, hey, we arrested this guy, period, but we can't talk about anything else. And this may be a lot of the same thing. What I'm hoping for is that they also release the coroner's report, so we can see that, even if it's redacted. We'll be able to get the spirit of that form, and also with the PCA, even if it's heavily redacted, we'll be able to get the spirit of it, and I'll be able to identify, those CIs that they're covering for, even if they block out a whole damn thing. I've seen and written so many PCs that I know what goes where, how, and why. So I'll know what's missing and what's not, Now, the judge is saying that this PCA, they're going to release it because it's a standalone. It stands on its own. It has no impact on the case. So I'm hoping that the coroner's report will be released as well, because it has even less impact on the case than what the PCA would have. So that's my take on it. That's an informed opinion. That comes from experience and background. He's definitely cooperating. He's not involved with the murder. He made that account for a whole different reason. He never made it to hurt any girls. He's just a pervert, period. So that's why he wasn't arrested on this case. Everybody's leaning on that, saying, well, he hasn't been arrested on this case, so he's not involved with it. That's not true. That's not true. He's cooperating. He's involved because he created that account. And he was able to provide information that got them going down the trail, like release the hound dogs, the sniffer dogs, to follow that trail all the way to the murderer. And it's going to be interesting to see that what they found at Richard Allen's home. That's going to be interesting as well. But I will be happy, ecstatic with the coroner's report and the PCA getting released on Tuesday. And other than that, the one thing that I'm really curious about and would like to see and hear is the video and audio that was recorded on Libby's phone. I don't need to see crime scene pictures and videos and all that. I don't need all that. I just wanted to see, because that's what brought me to this case was, wow, they got a video with audio of this guy and there's no arrests, 5.5 years. What the hell? I want to see what's on there. I think that it's longer than 43 seconds. But even if it's not, I'll be happy with just seeing the 43 seconds that they have and just take it from there. Now, I see there's one person watching. I appreciate it. Could you, if you don't mind, could you type something in the chat so I can see how it pops up on my screen here, so it won't surprise me in the future if I say, if I have 2 people watching, it won't, it won't be hard for me to figure out. Okay. All right. Well, let me try. All right. I don't know if you can see that or not. I don't know how this chat comes over on my end. I'm going to learn as I go. But I wanted to pop on and just plant my flag in the ground, saying that yes, Kegan Klein is involved. He's a witness. He's cooperating, but he's never going to be charged in this case, ever. He's not involved with this case. He's just he's cooperating, and he is a witness. Okay, so I appreciate you watching, whoever you are. Thank you very much. If you wouldn't mind sharing and liking, that would be doing me a big favor, and I would appreciate that. But have a good night, and I'm out. My name is Ruckus, and I am 10-7. Have a good night. Thank you again.